A man of multiple talents. He's been on TV since before he was born. Season 3 of his great show, Ozark, is on Netflix now. Say hello to J-Bay, Jason Bateman, everybody. Hi, Jason.
Are we doing this right now, or is this just a rehearsal? Let's just rehearse one, and then we'll do it for real. Because I got to get in wardrobe. I got to get the makeup done.
I'm enjoying your hair. It really has taken full command of your head.
Please don't. I showered for you. It's first shower in 4 weeks.
But you're usually a very hygienic person, yes?
I am. So this hasn't been super uncomfortable for me as far as the extra steps one needs to go to comply with, the hygiene request, the hand washing and the sprinting from somebody about to sneeze. I've got all those moves down.
Do you have a hand washing ritual that you can share with us?
20 seconds is not a problem for me, for starters. The big one that I incorporated was, and I learned this from Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio in the what do you call it movie, the Howard Hughes movie, where he scrapes his hands with his fingernails so that you get the soap underneath the fingernails. It's pretty genius.
So you are taking your hand washing tips from an actor who is channeling a lunatic, a recluse, someone who died insane.
And who had famously long fingernails. And which, my fingernails actually are getting pretty gross long too, because I don't clip them. I start it with a chew, and then I do a very elegant peel. But I'm not putting my fingers in my mouth. So I've got almost 4 weeks of growth here. I'm not going to show them to you.
You're like Cardi B. Jason.
I get that all the time.
How's the family doing?
I'm not sure. I've been pretending to be positive for 3 weeks just to stay away from them. They're doing great.
I don't know if you remember this, but last time you were on the show, when we were in a studio with an audience and all that stuff, you'd said something to the effect of that you'd ruined the Easter Bunny for your older daughter, Franny, and that you made her promise not to tell your younger daughter, Maple. How did that go on Easter?
That's right, exactly. Yeah, that was Sunday. It was great. Yeah, Franny has done great. She has not mentioned anything. Maple is still convinced that a 4-pound bunny can carry 8 pounds worth of candy and chocolate in 2 baskets into the house. But she did tell me to keep an eye out for the bunny because she was pretty convinced she saw him before she was going to bed last year. So as I was putting her to bed on Sunday, she said, "If you see him, wake me up." I do feel like this is the last year.
Oh, she saw him last year. So you either need to call an exterminator or the police.
Right. Yeah, I said, "Well, what did he look like?" She said, "Well, he was a little taller than you. It was like a man in a bunny suit." I said, "And he was walking around downstairs?" She said, "Yeah."
Are you helping the kids with homework? Because you, as we know, were a kid actor, an actor since you were very young. You never learned to read or write. You were on those sets that weren't even schools. They were really just like labor factories, yes?
Oh, God. We could do a whole separate segment on so much bad behavior and bad learning. Needless to say, I'm having trouble teaching my 8-year-old second grade. It's amazing how much I don't know. Long division is very difficult. I'm great with art. I'm great with setting up the Zoom sessions.
Good.
Changing background. I do know how to do that.
I don't feel like that really hurt you in any way because, well, you won an Emmy for Best Director, which is fantastic and very exciting. Ozark, people will say to me, "What are you watching?" And we love Ozark, and it's one of the great shows. And I'll say, "Oh, you should watch Ozark." And they always say, yeah, I watched it already. So everyone seems to be watching it. Season 3 has 100% with the top critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Did you know that? Pretend you didn't.
Say that again.
I said it's got 100% positive on. I know you don't
Listen,
really check that
I
kind of
don't
stuff,
have
but
anything to do except continually refresh Rotten Tomatoes and see if we have. Yeah, I mean, look, if all we have to do, with all those brave people doing all that incredible medical work, our job is just to stay home. I feel like that's the least we can do.
for sure. And we are going to talk about charity in a moment. Also, when we come back, I'm going to give you a little quiz. You know I'm obsessed with your youth and all the TV shows that you were in and I was watching. So I'm going to give you a little quiz to see if you remember as much about Jason Bateman as I do, all right? Jason Bateman is with us. We'll be right back. You've been on TV for what, 75 years, yes? It's
76.
a long time. Some of those projects were very successful, others were not. So now we're going to play a game called Was I in It? I will read the description of a show or TV movie. You tell me if you were in it, all right? And
Okay.
bonus points if you can remember the character's name.
Yeah.
A teenage scam artist lives in a Van Nuys apartment with his older sister and widowed mother.
That's It's Your Move, and his name's Matthew Burton, and he loves a good point.
That's right. Love that show. That was one of my favorites. Next, a successful lawyer quits his job to become a teacher.
Yeah, was in it. It was called The Jake Effect. So I'm going to say his first name might have been Jake. Not great on the last name.
Good enough. That's correct. A gay, mild-mannered writer lives in Greenwich Village with his straight and at first homophobic roommate. Were you in it?
You betcha, Jimmy. That was Some of My Best Friends. Was taken from the film Kiss Me Guido. Danny Nucci there played the heterosexual. I was the homosexual. When I auditioned for it, I asked the casting director, would they like me to read in some sort of a very flamboyant way? They said, no, you're gay enough. Just come on in.
Do you remember your name?
No.
Warren Fairbanks. Two guys named Mike woo the same girl. Were you in it? No, that's a show we made up called Two Guys Named Mike. A Wall Street stockbroker who loses his job shows up at his brother's New Jersey auto repair shop looking for a new lease on life. Were you in it?
I was in it, and I don't remember the name of it. But boy, look at that.
Black Sheep was the name
Black
of it. You
Sheep.
played Jonathan Kelly. A Wall Street stockbroker loses his job and his wife and finds himself in Harlem sharing a tenement apartment with his simple brother.
Simple. So that was a hint. It was called Simon, and
Yes?
there he is, Harlan Williams. Now, my name was his name was Simon. What was my name?
Carl Hempel. You were Carl.
Oh, there goes Maple. Say
Hi,
hi to
Maple.
Jimmy. You see,
How's
I
it
keep
going?
her outside. That way, there's more food for me inside the house. That's right.
Hi, Maple. Watch out for rodents. Oh, there she goes. All right, one more. Here we go. A teenage musician goes on the run from killers and the police when he returns home to find his house empty and his family gone.
You're pulling from a lot from the bill payer side of the ledger. This was called Crossing the Mob, I think, or
No.
Moving Target. No, yeah.
Moving Target.
Crossing the Mob is probably next on your list.
Not only do we have a clip from Moving Target. Here we go.
Then Toby Kellogg's been away from his family.
While I was gone, they moved.
He's being chased by the cops and hunted by the mob. And he's got to find his family before a killer does.
Where's my family?
Jason Bateman is a moving target Monday after out.
Well, Jimmy,
Monday after
not only am I in a deep sweat, but you and I are in a fight.
Jason, you've chosen as your charity tonight. I'll be making a donation to Direct Relief, which is not an antacid. What is Direct Relief, Jason?
It is an antacid for the frontline workers in medicine. It gets them more stuff to keep them safe.
Excellent. Go to directrelief.org. Thank you, Jason Bateman. His show is Ozark. Will there be a season 4? Can you say?
I think chances are decent, and
Yes.
we should know soon. But everybody, keep your fingers crossed for World Health and season 4, please.
Jason Bateman. Thank you, Jason. We'll be right back.